Yes. We're here today. This is Doris Burris Williamson, and we're here today, again, part two of our interview with cousin Lucille Talbert. And we're here in Lawton, Oklahoma. Yes, Lawton, Oklahoma. Today is Tuesday, November the 15th, 2022. And the members that are here is Kathy's daughter, Lucille's daughter, Kathy Johnson. And we're here with cousin Charlotte Harvey, who's here being a part of our production. She is our lighting and production and GPS reconnaissance person that's getting us around Oklahoma, as well as Brenda McClellan, who is our Choctaw Freedmen Citizenship Secretary here as well, of being a part of assisting us in this interview today with cousin Lucille Talbert. Okay, cousin Lucille Talbert, we were talking about Delia Burris earlier. You were telling us a little bit about you all sitting on the front porch when you came to visit with her. Tell a little bit about where she lived and kind of describe to us about what part of time that was and what was some of the other surrounding. You said it was around a pond, and why she didn't want to see grass just kind of talk a little bit about some other things there.
Yeah.
Okay.
We where she lived was close to a pond that they would go and fish out of many times and everything. And she didn't want grass in her yard because she didn't want snakes or insects to be crawling in her yard. And I do believe because it was close to a pond, and by being that, there was snakes in the water and things like that would come up. And I think there was a lot of water moccasins and things like that would be around, and so she wanted her place to stay clear. And
which would draw other varmints like wolves and raccoons. It would draw other
wild dogs and things like that, and polecats and all that kind of stuff up there. So she kept it clean. Not only was the yard itself, but under her house was just as clean.
Oh, really?
Because her house was up off the ground. It wasn't on the ground low, but it was up off the ground. As a child, say a 9 or 10-year-old child, could get under there and crawl around real easy. And under her porch and under her house was just as clean.
Okay.
And everything. And we would have my mom and them would come down there sometime, and they would go around the pond and they would fish, and they would have fish fries, and we would all sleep out around the pond, but not grandma. She stayed in the house.
I'd have to be with grandma too. So tell us a little bit about when you walked in the house, what sort of things did you see that you were curious about, that you would ask about the pictures and stuff?
I would go in grandma's, when I go in the house, and I'd go in her room, and I can see in my mind's eyes, I can still see where her bedroom is and everything. And on the wall was a picture of her and Grandpa John. And
John Burris.
Yes. And I would look at the picture. I remember the first time I asked her, I said, "Who is that?" And she said, "That's your grandpa, Grandpa John." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And he was a very handsome-looking young man,
I bet.
and everything, and she had a picture of her there. And I can remember her bed and it being made up, and she loved white on her bed. She liked quilts and stuff, but her bed would have some kind of white spread on it all the time. And she slept in white gowns and stuff like that. Yeah, and which made me think about, it's so very clean in her house. And when she cleaned her house, she would scrub her floors, and they would be clean. I mean, she kept it
spotless.
Yes, spotless. She was a very neat person and everything. Yeah. And where I slept, it was in another little side room, almost like a little hallway. But I love that room.
I bet.
It was mine.
I bet it was yours.
Yeah.
And she made you feel so special and
she
stuff.
Did.
She was a beautiful woman.
Yes, she did. And she would always call me. She'd call me baby or daughter all the time. Yes. And Tom's, that wasn't that far from Idabel. I think probably about 40-some miles.
Tom is really, it's closer than that. Tom is from Idabel. It might even be, I don't know. I'd have to look on there. Yeah, about 15, 20 miles. Yeah, from Idabel. Okay.
I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. And the school I went to down there, I didn't tell you that
No,
before.
go ahead.
The school I went to down there was called Oak Grove School.
Oh.
And I never will forget, it was it set like up on a little hill. And my professor, his name was Professor Shows. And my teacher, her name was Miss Brown.
Oh.
And she was a lovely woman. I used to envy her. She had nice legs and hairy legs. I used to love hairy legs.
Oh, wow. We're getting to the interview. These guys listening to these interviews might go, oh, wow, let me listen to this. Let's go catch you,
I
right?
enjoyed it. And I used to play basketball, but they wouldn't let me play because they said I was too short.
Wow.
And every time we would go to Booker T. Washington High School to play basketball, I couldn't play. I just had to sit on the sideline in case somebody got hurt, and then I would get hit. And I would be wishing, I know this is, but I would be wishing somebody got tired so I could play.
Wow. Okay. Well, we're going to stop on this part of the interview and we'll come back on the other side. Okay. Thank you so much, cousin.